Good morning. I am still here at my sister's in Michigan, and I'm going to do this recorded version because I will be jet lagged tomorrow morning, which is Friday. So it'll be a Friday. Let's start with dancing. Govinda Hari, Hari, Govinda, Govinda Hari, Hari. So taking your scarf, starting to open things up. This chant is a removal of any obstacles or pain or suffering. Bring us into an awareness of eternal good. Let's do a circle dance. And then we'll get our legs involved. And we're going to be doing a lot of leg or hip openers today. So your hips should feel really great after this practice. And let's do another circle dance. Again, always adapting my suggestions to your body today, what works for you. And take the scarf in two hands, bring it overhead and then down in front. Overhead. Stretching up on your inhale and exhaling loudly. One more time. Then let's do one more circle dance. And we're going to come to a stillness, to a standing position. Going to put on my earbuds. So in this standing position, we're going to do some sun salutations. Oh, let's first set an intention. And let's start with bringing the hands to heart center, taking a deep breath in. Long, slow breath out. Again, deep breath in. Long, slow exhale out. Set your intention, engaging your Ujjayi breath, that ocean breath. A loving silence often has far more power to heal and to connect than the most well-intentioned words. That's from Rachel Naomi Raymond. And so during our practice today, I will be allowing for huge opportunities of silence, because sometimes that's the best way to heal. So let's do a couple of sun salutations to open our body up further by taking a deep breath in, lifting the hands up, gazing up, exhaling all the breath out as you come down. Let's inhale to flatten that back. Exhale back down. And then inhale to heart center. And I just want you to think of folks that need healing during this sun salutation. Maybe it's yourself. Think of self healing. I know for me, after I lost my husband, the best thing I could do was go to the mountains and be quiet. That's where I believe that I received a great portion of healing. How about someone in your sphere of acquaintances that might need some healing? Maybe someone dealing with a illness or a wayward child or a difficult physical situation. How about around the world? I think about the Gaza area and the people starving and just the hatred and um, war that's happening in the Middle East, and just praying for that situation. And finally, for all living beings, that we would find our healing in an environment of silence and peace. Okay, coming back up to heart center, we're going to balance in Mr. Peanut, I call it. So you're going to take your right foot and just really ground it into the ground. Point your left toe. Inhale deeply, lifting both hands up overhead. We're going to leave a basketball size, sorry, it's out of the camera, space between our hands. And then we're going to lean over to the right just slightly, opening up that left side body, maybe balancing on that left foot. 3 deep breaths here. A nice stretch going along your left side body. And then we're going to collapse in a forward bend. And this forward bend, I want your upper body to feel like a rag doll. Like just let it hang. Maybe sway gently side to side. And then bending your knees a lot. Come back up to heart center. Maybe notice a difference one side to the other. As you plant your left foot, point your right toe out. Inhale deeply, bringing hands overhead with a basketball size space between them. And you're going to look over towards the right. Maybe lift that right foot up off the mat to balance. Maybe not. And do your gyro breath as you think of your intention and how a loving silence often has great power to heal. Okay, we're again going to collapse into a forward bend. This time, interlace your fingers and opposite elbows. Try to get a stretch to your low back here. Again, if forward bends are painful for you, you don't have to go all the way down. You might go halfway down. And then we're going to rise back up and we're going to come into a squat position. So we're going to point our knees out, toes out. Take that ball of energy. We're going to think about the latest sunrise that you've enjoyed as we inhale, bringing that energy up overhead, straightening the knees. Exhale back down. Last night, the moon, the full moon, was so beautiful, rising up from the horizon as the sun lit up the sky with every color imaginable, pink, orange, yellow. Beautiful. Let's go the other direction. Speaking of the moon, I felt kind of bad that it wasn't Halloween because it was a perfect Halloween moon. Beautiful, bright, totally round, and rising up above the horizon like a huge meteorite or something. It was just beautiful. Let's do one more rotation. And then we're going to drop down into tabletop. So in our tabletop, we'll inhale our face up, let our belly drop down. Exhale into cat pose. Think about the last time you saw a cow grazing in the field. Those big, beautiful eyes, bushy tail, the beautiful colors of the cows. And then when we do cat, which is this position where your spine is extended, I always think of a Halloween cat, you know, a black cat with a big arch in its back. Okay, we're going to take that right knee out to the side. We're doing some hydrant lifts in preparation for our tree pose. So inhale and lift the leg. You can extend it out if that feels good for you. When you've had enough on one side, we'll go over to the other, lifting the left knee up and out to the side. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, bringing it back to earth. When you're done on both sides, let's bring our knees a little wider, hands overhead, come into a child's pose with the forehead on the mat, and breathe, thinking of your intention. A loving silence often has far more power to heal and to connect than the most well-intentioned words. Okay, we're going to come into tabletop, but bring that right hand slightly forward. Let your left hand come out to the side. That's the inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. I don't have my weight handy, but if you'd like to grab a weight and use it to further open up your shoulders, you're welcome to grab your weight. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to rest that left shoulder down on the mat. We're going to extend the right hand out, right leg long. Now kind of roll onto your left shoulder as best you can. Focus on the breath here. Nice Ujjayi breath. A loving silence of healing and peace. Rising back up the tabletop, let's do the serpentine where we look over one shoulder, let one hip come out, other shoulder, other hip. And then bringing that left hand slightly forward, we'll bring the right hand out to the side. Inhale, exhale, comes under the left arm. Inhaling and exhaling. When you're ready, you're going to come down onto that right shoulder. Let your left hand come forward, left leg come back, and then gently roll onto that right shoulder and breathe. On your next inhale, we're going to come up to a seated position. We'll bring both feet over to the left. We're getting ready to do a twist, but you want to make sure that your sit bones are firmly anchored on your mat. If you have to stack your ankles, that's okay. If you can open up your legs like this and keep that left hip down, even better. Let's inhale the left hand skyward and exhale, twist, placing the left hand on the right knee, right hand comes beside that right hip. You're looking over your right shoulder and breathing deeply. And my rate of breath might be different than yours. Try to slow it down as much as you can. And with your next exhale, we'll come into Sukhasana. If this is painful for you, just do a wide straddle. We're going to take our right hand, place it on the left ear, bringing the head down towards that right shoulder. Left hand gets extended. If you could reach the mat, great. If not, just extend your left hand out and breathe as you're opening up that whole side of your left neck area. Do some deep breaths here. And then releasing that, we're going to bring both feet over to the right. Either way, try to keep that right hip down. Inhale the right hand skyward and then on the left knee. Twist just from your belly button. You don't want that hip coming up like this. You want to keep that right hip down. So the twist just from your upper body there. A loving silence often has more power to heal and to connect than the most well-intentioned words. Okay, we'll again come into Sukhasana. If you can remember which leg you had in front, try to get the other leg in front this time. See if you can actually be aware of which leg was in front, if you can feel it in your body. And then taking your left hand on your head and bringing the left ear down towards the left shoulder, we'll extend that right arm out, maybe bringing it down to the mat. Just trying to open up that right side of your neck. I think a lot of us, as the weather gets cooler, we do a lot of driving and computer work and playing the piano and just things that keep our neck and shoulders tense. But let's give them a little break here. Okay, releasing that. Let's do some neck rolls. So you're going to bring your right ear down towards your right shoulder, bring your chin forward, over to the left and back, gently hearing that snap, crackle, pop in your neck muscles, maybe first one direction and then the other, just loosening up the neck best you can. Okay, we're going to extend the left leg long and we're going to take the right heel into the left hand. We're going to embrace that right knee with the right elbow and just open up the hip joint here, doing some movement, whatever feels good for you. If you feel you want to go further, you can take your left elbow around that right foot, and this is called Rockabye Baby. But if it doesn't work, just keep your left hand on your heel. But try to keep the right foot in a 90-degree angle. You don't want to hurt your ankle joint. Okay, let's release that. Let's grind the corn. Let's come forward as we inhale and exhale, lean back, just kind of loosening up all those muscles in your back as you keep the toes lifted towards the sky because that activates your leg. The other direction, loosening everything up. There's a greater power than even the most well-intentioned words, and that's the power of a loving silence. Okay, let's leave the right leg long. Let's embrace that left knee with the left elbow. Take the right hand on the heel of the left foot. Keep your foot in a 90-degree angle here. And rockabye baby, or just kind of move that hip joint around. Can you feel an opening being created? Breathe into that. Maybe able to put your fingers in front. More intense. Don't have to go there if you don't want to. That loving silence often has far more power to heal and to connect. Connect with yourself, others around you, the earth, your community. More power to heal. Okay, let's extend both legs long. Let's sit up nice and tall. We're going to reach for our toes. So inhale, both arms skyward. Maybe if I flex my toes towards my face, I can reach them better. If they don't quite reach, bend your knees, kind of curl up here, stretch out your back, side, and we'll come back to a seated position. We're going to go into a kneeling position. So I've got this fancy blanket here that I'm going to kneel on. I'm going to extend my right leg out. I'm going to inhale, both arms skyward. And then as I exhale, I'm going to let the right arm rest on the right leg, left arm come over. I'm going to look under that left upper arm and stretch open that left side body again. Get some nice deep breath there. Maybe thinking of a time when you experienced great silence and it was very healing. Sometimes the landscape lends itself to silence. On your next exhale, that left hand comes down, right arm goes skyward. We're going into side plank here. I'd like you to stay in side plank rather than doing stargazer. You can go into stargazer if you like, but see if you can maybe bring the feet together into side plank. It demands a lot of your left arm, so you've got to compromise. Maybe you can't go there. That's okay. Okay, let's come back to kneeling. We're going to do cobra. So here, I don't have any blocks. If you have blocks, you can place them near your ankles. You don't have to have blocks, but if you want, reach for your blocks, that's fine. But let's start by placing the hands back at the top of your hip bone, like you're putting them into jean pockets. You're going to draw your elbows together. This is real important. Drawing those elbows together like your wings. Just kind of bring them together. And when I was in training, we used to strap them together. You got that feeling. Open chest, elbows together. Now take a deep breath in and let your gaze go up towards the ceiling where the ceiling and wall meet. open the chest, draw those elbows together, envision them being joined together with a strap, and breathe. You more advanced students can reach for your ankles, or maybe you have blocks there. Camel pose. Okay, a counter pose to camel is child's pose, so we'll come back down into child's. Arms overhead, forehead on the mat, knees wide, tushy coming down towards heels. Coming back up to that kneeling position. We'll extend our left leg long. Inhale deeply, both arms coming up, and then the left arm coming down to the left leg. Right arm comes up and over. You can look up towards your right upper arm and breathe. Get a nice opening in your right side body. A loving silence often has far more power to heal and to connect than the most well-intentioned words. On your next exhale, let's bring that right hand down beside the right knee, left arm goes skyward. We're in side plank. You can bring it into full side plank. You can go into stargazer if that feels good for you, opening up your chest, but I wanted to see if you could kind of demand more of your arm here. With your next exhale, we'll bring that top arm down. We're going to come into our first downward dog of the day. Let's curl our toes under, walk our dog out. Taking some nice deep breaths, keeping the hips nice and back, far back. And then with all your energy in your left foot, bring your right knee towards your nose. And then that's the inhale. And then exhale it straight back. Again, right knee in towards nose and then straight back. One more time. And then we'll put all the energy into the right foot and do the same thing with the left knee. Left knee in towards nose, and then it gets extended. Inhale and exhale. Now we are going to come all the way down to the mat. So you can first test yourself in your high plank. Just for a few breaths. And then drawing your elbows in, letting your knees come down. We're going to keep our arms up overhead as we come down to the mat. We're getting ready to do Superwoman here. Lifting the right leg straight back, energy out the Barbie doll foot or the ball of your foot. Left arm comes up. That's the inhale. Exhale back down and rest. Let's go to the opposite side. Left leg gets lifted, right arm, stretch it out and rest. Right leg, left arm, pick it up off the mat, get an extension and rest. Left leg, right arm, and rest one more time. Right leg, left arm, lifting up, relaxing, upside down Shavasana, and then left leg, right arm. Okay, let's come up into Sphinx pose here. And in our Sphinx pose, we're going to inhale deeply, and then as you exhale, let your body sink down. So it's inhale, upright Sphinx, exhale, relaxing, inhale, nice attentive Sphinx, and exhale, relax. Let's curl our toes under, back to a downward dog. And then we're going to bring the right foot between the hands, and we're going to rise up into warrior two. In the warrior two, the hips are open, left leg is back, but the foot's at an angle. There's lots of energy going out that back leg. On your next breath in, we're going to lower the back arm down, lift the front arm up. We're going to gaze up at that lifted hand and straighten the front knee. You can kind of do a little bit of a back bend here with counterbalance to where we're going next. And then coming back to warrior two, we're going to lower that right forearm down to the right thigh. We're going to bring the left hand back for a half bind. And you can stay here and breathe, looking up towards your left, or you can bring the hands together under your thigh. You might have to open up your legs a little bit to achieve that. You might not have the long enough arms to do that. That's okay. Just so they're going towards each other. Okay, let's release that, come back to warrior two, and then turning our feet parallel. Let's do that forward bend where we interlace our fingers, open the chest, take a deep breath in, and then slowly lower your torso down. Bending your knees a lot. We'll come back up to a warrior two on the other side. So left knee is bent, right leg is nice and strong. Dropping your back hand down, lifting the front hand up, straightening that front knee, but not locking it out, just gentle, gentle softening. Left side body gets opened. Send your breath to your left rib if you can. Just envision that. And then returning back to warrior two. You're going to lower that left forearm down to the left thigh. Bring that right hand back for half bind. Looking up towards the right. You can try to bring your fingers together underneath. Deep breath. And then returning back to warrior two. This time we're going to point our toes out. Take a deep breath in. Let's open up into star pose. This is where everything radiates from your heart center. Think about that quiet, peaceful place that you've known a few times in your life, I'm sure. For me, it's always by a riverside or a creek. It's flowing where I feel that peace, that great peace that comes from being alive and being on earth and feeling attuned to nature, other people, yourself. Okay, we're going to toe heel our feet back together. We're going to try standing hand to foot. So you may need a strap for this, and you may need a chair. I didn't get my chair ready. In a strange place. So I'm going to plant my right foot and strap my left foot. And then I'm going to bring my left foot out to the side. Now, if you don't have a strap, you can also bend your knee. We have the same movement we were doing seated on when we were in Rockabye Baby. I was really opening up the hips today. But see if you can get an extension. You more advanced students may be able, with your peace fingers, to do away with the strap. Notice my leg is not perfectly straight. If my leg's perfectly straight, I wouldn't be able to reach my toe. So that's my modification. Okay, let's release that. And we're going to come into tree. So kind of take off that tension. And then plant your right foot. Bring that left knee out to the side. Should be able to come pretty far today. And then plant your tree. Hands come to heart center. Take a couple of breaths. Maybe you can see a tree in your vision. Your option is to grow branches. Trees are silent. You know, in a lot of stories, they speak. They speak to us of grandeur and rootedness and letting go. Right now in fall, they're letting go of their leaves. Great examples for us. Let's let our branches go. Do a bear swing to shake off that tension we built up. I put this one in, but let's do eagle pose. So we'll come into a chair position, push these out, knees are bent. We'll bring that right elbow under the left knee over the right. Eyes focus, everything towards your midline. Do a couple of Kegels here. And then slowly releasing in a Brenda swing. Our last position is Warrior 3. This is where we make an L shape with our body. Keep that right foot planted and lift the left leg straight back. If you've never tried balancing with your one arm or maybe both arms off that chair, maybe try it today. The strength of that right leg. And then when you're ready to come out of it, bending the right knee, letting the left leg come down. Let's do a full body stretch to release that tension. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time. Inhale and exhale down. Okay, we're going to take the chair to the other side. We're again going to open up that hip by placing all the energy into that left foot, maybe strapping that right foot and bringing it out to the side. Try to find your balance here, like kind of see where your body's at. You know, some days are better than other days. My sister's carpeting here is really thick and cushy. That's why I'm having, this is my excuse. This is why I can't balance. But seriously, if you're doing this on carpeting, it's much harder than a hard floor. So you can do it with peace fingers, or you can just do a bent knee. Just try to get that hip nice and open And then plant your tree. Eyes focused. Breath nice and long. A loving silence often has far more power to heal and to connect than the most well-intentioned words. When you're ready to let go in a bear swing. I love it that the trees teach us so much about letting go, about strength, about how something tiny can grow into something massive. It's a bumper crop year for acorns, in case you haven't noticed. Okay, let's go into eagle pose by starting in chair pose and then bringing that left elbow under right, right knee over left. Now I'm going to come to this hard surface here and just show you the difference. I mean, here I can balance no problem. On the carpeting, it's a bigger challenge. We're going to release that hold in a Brenda swing. And then finally, coming into an L shape with our bodies and placing all the energy into the left foot. We'll lift that right leg straight back in our warrior three position. Seeing if you can balance in this position. You can bring your arms to airplane arms, or you can do eagle arms in front. Some people like to do that. Wherever you are, nice deep breath. Loving silence has great power to heal and to connect. Okay, let's shake off all that tension with another full body stretch. Arms up overhead and then release. We're going to come down to the mat with our strap. But we're just going to sit first in boat pose. So there's really three different ways to do boat. All have the same intention. We want to keep our chest open in boat. But you can take that strap and lift your feet up. You might get a little more work done here. I know for me, it feels great. I can even straighten my legs here, keeping my chest open. That's one way to do it. Another way is hands behind your thighs. Chest open, nice balance here. And then finally, for more advanced students, more advanced than I am, just going right into, and I can't do it, boat. Sorry, I have to hold my thighs. It's never been an easy pose for me. Some people love it. Their favorite, not mine. But I do it for you. You who love boat pose. All right, let's come all the way down. Keep your strap handy though. Come all the way down to the mat. We're gonna leave our left leg long and draw the right knee in towards the chest. Wind reliever. You can move that right knee around if you want to get further opening in that right hip joint. You'll be able to hike and bike and garden and do all kinds of stuff today, hopefully. Taking your left hand on your right knee, though, we're going to stack the hips, left hip under right. You're going to twist and look towards your extended right hand. Really try to get a twist by, you have to kind of scooch your left hips under that right hip. Look towards the right and then breathe. And a nice gentle twist. Returning back to center, we're going to go into happy baby pose. This is where you take your ankles or your feet. Now, be mindful of your neck here. Your chin should not be stretched up like that. We want the neck long. We want the tailbone down, but the feet are playing playfully on the ceiling. You could even roll from side to side. Give yourself a little back massage. And then extending that right leg long, we'll draw the left knee in towards the chest. Again, you can bring movement. You can feel the wind getting relieved from your digestive tract. And then right hand comes onto left knee. Left hips scooch under the right hip as you see. I'm sorry, under the left hip, right hip under left hip. And the left knee goes towards the right. Your gaze is towards the left. Try to keep your shoulder down as much as possible. And now engage that Ujjayi breath. Enjoying the stretch, sending the breath where you feel an opening being created. Okay, let's return back to center. Let's do the Swiss Army knife where all the extremities are towards the ceiling and just move them around like someone's opening and shutting a Swiss Army knife. And then taking that strap, we're going to put it around the right foot. We're going to take the strap in both hands and gently pull your toes toward the top of your head, getting a nice stretch in your hamstring here. Now take the strap in your right hand, let your foot fall out to the right. Since we've opened up our hips, we do this quite a bit, but see if you can get like as open as possible that right leg out to the right. Gaze goes left. Breathe into whatever opening you're able to create here. And then returning that right foot back to center, taking the strap off. We're going to bring our knees to a 90-degree angle, and we're just going to windshield wiper them side to side together, both knees together. Just have the knees go side to side. If it's too much for you, you can place your feet on the mat and do the windshield wiper thing. But I wanted to see if you could engage your core here a bit. A little more challenging windshield wipers, kind of like a winterized windshield wipers. All right, let's pause for a moment. You feel a difference from your right and left side. We're going to strap that left foot. We're going to take it in both hands, take the strap in both hands and gently open the hamstring by bringing your left toes towards the top of your head. Breathe into this stretch. I don't know if you can feel it, but I can sure feel it in my hamstring. And then taking the strap in your left hand, let your left leg come out to the left. and your gaze goes right. See how far you could lower that left leg down while keeping your shoulders down. A loving silence often has far more power to heal and to connect than the most well intentioned words. Okay, we're going to bring that left foot back up. We are going to do a couple of bridge lifts, and I would recommend that you do this dynamically. You can do it statically where you hold your bridge. But let's crawl those heels towards our buttocks. Our hands are flat at our sides. We're going to take a deep inhale, lower the lumbar down, lift the hips up, lift the hands up overhead, and exhale back. Again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Let's do one static bridge where you do lift the hips up, maybe interlace the fingers underneath, getting a nice opening in your chest. And then if your fingers are interlaced, you're going to lower down your hips, releasing the fingers, knees into chest, nose into knees, Apanasana. Again, rolling side to side. Here's your opportunity to do a pose of your choosing. I'm going to choose fish pose. I feel like my chest needs opening. So I'm going to extend my feet long and place my palms under my buttocks and open my chest. One last time before I go into Shavasana. Your choice, whatever pose you feel like you need to do before you can rest and relax, that's what you should be doing. Maybe it's a shoulder stand or full body stretch, or just legs up the wall. Your choice. But we're going to get nice and comfy here. I'm not going to play any music. We're going to do a silent Shavasana today. So make your way into your position for relaxation. Could be a regular Shavasana, could be legs up the wall, or Supta Baddha Konasana. Your choice. But let it all go. Think of those fall leaves that are coming off the trees. They let themselves be carried by the wind, come to their final resting place on the earth. Let your body be like that leaf, coming down, resting on the earth. We are going to out of Shavasana if you like. If you want to stay in Shavasana, you're always welcome to. I tend to keep my Shavasana short. You can extend it on, moving your fingers, toes, knees into the chest, rolling over to one side or the other, and resting. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, you're going to come up to a comfortable seat. Practice our Oms as we conclude our practice by letting all the air out. Deep breath in. Center, let's remember any intention we may have set. A loving silence often has far more power to heal and to connect than the most well-intentioned words. I hope you have a wonderful day, great weekend. Namaste. Hope to see you live next week.